back, and today guys we're cooking a very fast treat with some leftovers. It's traditional Scottish Tattie Scones. Right, first of all, get yourself a mixing bowl. Now earlier today I cooked some mashed potatoes, so I have some leftovers, not a huge amount but enough just for a snack. So now that they've cooled, I'll just stick them into the mixing bowl. In my mashed potatoes I put fresh creamy butter, milk, white pepper and salt to taste. So that's already in there. Like I said, now that it's cool, what you want to add to that is some flour. It can be plain flour or self-raising flour, it doesn't really matter. So I'll start. I'm not doing exact measurements here, but because I mean the amount of leftover potatoes can vary, so you've just got to try and copy and get the same consistency if you go ahead and make this. So just break the potatoes up a little bit there and start mixing it in with the flour. You're actually better just to use your hands with this. It's a much faster process if you do it that way, because you can squeeze the flour straight in to the potatoes. And you want to keep mixing this until you get a nice doughy consistency. Maybe second, we'll just stick that under there to stop any rattling. So back to mixing. I actually think that's probably already enough flour that I've put in there, but I'm very used to doing this, so it kind of becomes second nature after a while. You can see that's taken on a nice doughy shape now, but we'll keep mixing for the time being. You don't want these to be too dry, but you don't want them to be too moist either, because if they're too moist when you fry them up in the frying pan, they will tend to separate and split all over the place. And again, if they're too dry, then they're just not as enjoyable. So you're definitely wanting to get the kind of texture that I'm about to show you. It feels like a bit like a tougher kind of pizza dough. So there we go, that feels about right to me, right there. Right, we'll get that out of the way. And we'll spread a little bit of flour on the surface there, just for rolling, and a little bit over the dough as well. So next, get yourself a rolling pin. So you want to roll these out, or this out rather, to about 5mm thick, or a 1/4 inch. The Tattie Scones, you can eat them just as a snack on their own, because once they're cooled down they're absolutely delicious with some fresh creamy slightly salted butter on them. And if you fancy them another way, when you cook yourself a fry up in the morning, you can also fry up your Tattie Scone as well, along with the rest of your fry up ingredients, and you can have them nice and hot with a fry up. Me personally, I like them both ways, but if I had to say I had a preference at all, it would be to eat them cold with the fresh creamy butter on. Delicious. So once you've got that rolled to the required thickness, stick a plate over and cut round. Just move the excess, which you will turn into another Tattie Scone soon. And you re-roll that, and then lift your plate. Traditionally we have them in a kind of a triangle here in Scotland. So I normally just get my pizza base cutter and just cut them in two, like so. And that gives you your 4 triangles. Now, put the frying pan on, and you want it at a just below a mid-heat, so mine goes up to 9, so I'll put this at, say, 4.5. And you just want to put a tiny little bit of oil in that pan. Just put your oil in the pan and then just take away any excess so that you've got a very, very thin layer of oil in there. Into there, you just want to place your tatty scones. And leave them till they start going brown on one side. Flip them over, cook them the same on the opposite side. Just roll this out and see how much more I can get from it. You can sometimes just do a big rolled flat one as well, which I'll probably just do with this, to be honest. I'll have that for my supper. Yeah, that'll be like having 2 tatty scones, which is probably the amount I would normally eat. What I do is if I'm having just them for a snack, I butter the one and then I cover it with another one and just eat them like a tatty scone and butter sandwich. But they really are nice. So remember guys, the full ingredients will be at the end of the video, and I'll also include what went into the leftover mashed potatoes. So that one I'll just cook whole like that. When you start to get a nice aroma coming from them, that's generally when you know they're browning on the other side. You'll start to smell that aroma, and I can see a wee bit of kind of like a vapoured oil coming up there and steam. So I'll give this one a flick over, see how it is. Lovely, that is exactly what you're looking for, that sort of texture. Closer look at that. So that means they're all ready to flip over. And just cook them exactly the same on the opposite side. If you want to eat one hot, there's no harm in it. Go right ahead and do it. But like I say, I like them cold with plenty of butter. They're actually very filling as well. So it's roughly about 3 minutes per side. There we go. Job done. And then I'll stick the big one in. So that is basically it. Potato scones, freshly made and traditional recipe for Scotland. So if you go ahead and make these, I hope you enjoy them, because I certainly know I will once these have cooled down. So until next time guys, take care, and I'll see you all again soon. And all you have to do now is get it scoffed. And guys, I should have said, if you want to store them, just wrap them in some cling film and keep them in the fridge, and they'll be fine for about 3 days.